Hello, Los Angeles Lakers fan. We're back with an exclusive video bringing you the latest updates. First of all, subscribe to the channel and like the video. It's crucial for you to stay informed with the news daily. Without further ado, let's get to the news. The NBA world is buzzing, and it feels like one of those moments where you can almost sense the energy shifting before the official announcement even drops. Rumors are flying faster than a Steph Curry transition three, and all signs are pointing towards something massive. RUI Hachimura, the versatile Japanese forward, could be leaving the Los Angeles Lakers and heading straight to the Golden State Warriors. Yeah, you heard that right. This isn't just your average off-season whisper. This is the kind of potential move that can change the entire vibe of two franchises at once. Inside sources, unnamed executives, and even a few cryptic social media posts are fueling the speculation that RUI's time in purple and gold might be running out. The Lakers, who have been juggling cap space and roster depth issues, might be ready to make a tough call, while the Warriors, always on the lookout for smart, skilled forwards who can play within their fluid system, seem to be positioning themselves quietly but decisively. It's not official yet, but it's getting harder and harder to ignore the noise. Something's definitely brewing, and fans for both sides are already imagining how this could play out on the court and beyond. What makes this rumor even more intriguing is how perfectly RUI seems to fit the Warriors' identity. Think about it: his size, his defensive awareness, his mid-range touch, and that growing confidence from beyond the arc all scream Warriors basketball. He's disciplined, team-oriented, and carries that quiet intensity that Steve Kerr loves in his system. The Warriors have been trying to reinvent themselves while staying competitive in a stacked Western Conference, and RUI could be exactly the kind of piece that bridges the gap between their veteran core and the younger generation. Meanwhile, the Lakers might be forced to rethink their balance if this move goes through. Losing RUI would mean losing one of their most consistent two-way contributors, a player who often brought stability when things got chaotic. It's a move that would shock fans, but also one that might make sense from a front office perspective, especially if they're looking for more flexibility or to bring in a shooter or backup guard. The rumor mill keeps turning, and as we all know, where there's this much smoke, there's usually something catching fire. Behind the scenes, the whispers about contract negotiations and locker room dynamics are painting an even more complex picture. Some insiders claim that RUI has been quietly frustrated with his role in Los Angeles, especially with how inconsistent his minutes have been under different rotations. There were flashes of brilliance last season, moments when he looked like a cornerstone piece for the Lakers' future, but also stretches where he barely touched the ball. That kind of situation can wear on any player's patience, particularly one who knows his potential is far from being fully tapped. The Warriors, on the other hand, are rumored to have been eyeing him since before the trade deadline, seeing in him the kind of versatility they crave. For Golden State, it's not just about talent. It's about fit, culture, and the ability to thrive with an emotion-heavy, unselfish offense. Hachimura's calm demeanor and high basketball IQ make him a dream addition in that regard. If these rumors prove true, this could be one of those under-the-radar signings that end up rewriting part of the league's narrative by mid-season. Fans, of course, are already losing their minds online. Lakers Twitter is divided, half furious at the idea of losing RUI, and the other half resigned to the business side of basketball. They've seen this before: talented role players getting moved in pursuit of something bigger, something that may or may not actually work out. Meanwhile, Warriors fans are practically drooling at the thought of Hachimura cutting to the rim off a Draymond Green handoff or spotting up in the corner while Curry draws three defenders. The memes, the mock trade graphics, and the welcome to the Bay posts are already flooding timelines. It's almost as if the internet has decided this deal is happening whether the teams have confirmed it or not. And honestly, that's the beauty of NBA rumor season. It blurs the line between what's real and what's just hype. But make no mistake, the excitement is real. The idea of RUI donning the Warriors jersey just feels like something that fits too perfectly to be dismissed as pure gossip. But beyond the excitement and the online noise, there's a real basketball conversation happening here. RUI Hachimura has grown tremendously since entering the league. From his early days in Washington to becoming a steady contributor in LA, he's proven he can adapt and elevate his game in different systems. The Warriors would be betting on that maturity, on that evolving skill set that doesn't rely purely on athleticism, but on smart positioning, patience, and efficiency. For a team that thrives on ball movement and decision-making, RUI's ability to make the right play without forcing things could be invaluable. It's not hard to picture him thriving next to Steph, Clay, and Wiggins, stretching defenses, cutting with purpose, and holding his own defensively. The question is whether the Warriors can make the financials work, and whether the Lakers are ready to let go of a player who's just now entering his prime. Still, when franchises like these two start circling around the same talent, history tells us something big is about to happen. Of course, some skeptics believe this might just be smoke to pressure the Lakers' front office into making a move or re-evaluating RUI's role. After all, we've seen agents and media insiders strategically leak information to influence negotiations before. It's part of the modern NBA playbook. Keep everyone guessing, drive up value, and see who blinks first. But what's different this time is how specific these reports have been. Mentions of mutual interest, exploratory talks, and positive conversations between representatives suggest that this isn't just clickbait. It feels coordinated, like the groundwork for a real discussion. And with both the Lakers and Warriors at crossroads in their competitive timelines, this could be the spark that leads to an unexpected roster shakeup. Whatever happens next, this story isn't going away anytime soon. RUI Hachimura's name is officially in the rumor spotlight. And whether he stays in Hollywood or takes his talents to the Bay, his next move could redefine how both teams approach the season ahead. If RUI Hachimura actually ends up in Golden State, the ripple effects could be fascinating. Picture it. The Warriors adding another athletic, multi-positional forward to their mix. One who doesn't need the ball to be effective but can still drop 20 on any given night if you forget about him. That's exactly the kind of subtle firepower that makes dynasties last longer than expected. The Warriors' small ball lineups have always thrived on versatility, and RUI could give them a new version of that death lineup magic. He can switch on defense, rebound above his height, and stretch the floor just enough to keep defenses honest. But beyond the stats, what makes this so exciting is the cultural fit. The Warriors have built a team identity around discipline, humility, and communication, all traits that align perfectly with RUI's personality. He doesn't need to be the loudest in the room to make an impact. He just plays his game, keeps his head down, and lets his performance speak. That's the kind of player who thrives in Golden State's environment, surrounded by leaders like Curry and Green. Meanwhile, back in Los Angeles, losing RUI would sting more than most fans want to admit. He wasn't the team's superstar, but he was their glue guy, the one who filled the gaps when LeBron needed a breather, when Davis drifted to the perimeter, or when the offense got stagnant. His presence brought a sense of balance and calm to the Lakers' rotation. And if this deal does happen, the Lakers will be forced to find that balance somewhere else. Maybe they'd look to a more perimeter-oriented forward or use the cap flexibility to chase a veteran guard. But replacing RUI's mix of physicality, finesse, and consistency won't be easy. His mid-range game has become one of the most reliable weapons in their half-court sets. He's the kind of player who quietly swings games without needing highlight plays. Losing that kind of contribution could have ripple effects that stretch far beyond the box score, especially for a team that's already been fighting to stay consistent throughout the season. Now, from a strategic standpoint, this potential move makes perfect sense for Golden State. They've been desperately searching for a way to bridge the old core with their younger talent, a bridge between the Curry era and whatever comes next. RUI could be that bridge. He's young enough to develop alongside players like Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody, yet experienced enough to handle playoff-level pressure. Kerr could easily slide him into multiple lineups, experimenting with different looks without sacrificing size or skill. And imagine the spacing when RUI's on the court with Curry and Clay. Defenses would be forced to pick their poison. It's a nightmare scenario for opposing coaches. The Warriors have always been about chess, not checkers, and this feels like one of those long-term strategic moves that sets up the next phase of their dynasty. Sure, it's risky, but Golden State has never been afraid to take big swings when they see the right fit. Before we continue, we ask that you leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Lakers updates. Moving on, as for RUI himself, this might be exactly the kind of fresh start he needs. The Lakers are an enormous market, full of pressure, expectation, and constant scrutiny. In Golden State, he'd still be under the spotlight, but in a system that values chemistry and trust above all else. He could focus purely on basketball. No drama, no media frenzy about every rotation change, just pure hooping. It's the kind of environment where players rediscover joy in the game. The Warriors have a history of unlocking the best in players who were overlooked or underutilized elsewhere. Think about Andrew Wiggins, who came in with question marks and ended up an all-star and finals hero. RUI could follow a similar trajectory, a player whose confidence blossoms in the right ecosystem. If he buys into the Warriors system, this could be his moment to go from promising to pivotal. But until something concrete happens, this remains one of those classic NBA mysteries. Every insider seems to have a slightly different version of the story. Every podcast hints at movement behind the scenes, and every fan base reads between the lines of cryptic social media posts. It's modern basketball theater, part reality, part performance. Yet even with all the noise, this one feels grounded enough to take seriously. The timing aligns, the needs align, and the personalities align. That's usually when the impossible starts to look inevitable. Whether it's a trade, a sign-in trade, or something else entirely, both front offices know they can't afford to stand still. The Lakers want to maximize LeBron's window. The Warriors want to extend their dynasty. And in the middle of it all stands RUI Hachimura, calm, talented, and quietly holding the keys to one of the offseason's most surprising twists. So here we are, caught between rumor and reality, waiting for the next headline to drop. Maybe it'll happen in a flash, a WOJ tweet, a Shams alert, a breaking news banner lighting up phones across the league. Or maybe it fizzles out like so many whispers before it. What if story that never materializes? Either way, this conversation has already done its job. It's reminded everyone just how unpredictable and electric the NBA can be. 1 minute, you're a role player in LA. The next, you're the missing piece for a championship contender in San Francisco. And that's what makes it all so intoxicating. The idea that a single move, one front office decision, can rewrite the storylines we thought were set in stone. If RUI Hachimura does become a Warrior, we'll look back at these rumors as the first sparks of something special. If not, well, the legend of what might have been will still keep fans talking all season long. Stay informed exclusively about Los Angeles Lakers news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep receiving daily updates. Also, share your opinion on the news in the comments, as your contribution is crucial for the Lakers. Stay tuned for the next video.